If you want to sign a goalkeeper with stats on Football Manager, you want to go over to your recruitment tab, and under recruitment, go over to player database, and in the player database, go ahead and click edit search. Now you're going to go ahead and input some stats. You're going to lock the age range to age around maybe 20 or 19 if possible. While using FMStag's what does good look like spreadsheet for statistics, and we can look at the goalkeeper. A very good goalkeeper that could come into Bayern Munich will need to have an XG prevented rating of 0.25. You want to go over to the conditions, and under conditions, go to stats. Under stats, go over to saves. And under saves, you can see expected goals prevented per 90. Go ahead and select that option and then dial it down all the way up to 0.25. Once you do that, that sort of narrows your list down to a very small group of players. Now, there are a lot more stats that you can go ahead and input in case you want to narrow the list down enough. But here we are, we have Dennis Seaman, and Dennis Seaman, he is a 20-year-old player that currently plays for Paderborn. Apparently, he's on loan from VSB Stuttgart, and you can see his attributes. He's a well-off top goalkeeper that is still very young. In case your list is too long, you can go over to FMStag and look at what does good look like on Football Manager, and then it's going to give you a spreadsheet of stats that you can go ahead and include in those stats to give you a smaller list. Now, I'm only using XG goals prevented and 0.25. That gave us a goalkeeper already, but you can go ahead and add goals conceded per 90, interceptions per 90. You can go ahead and add pass completion 97%. Input that into your Football Manager. You should narrow down your list down to a group of players that you can start scouting. Looking at Dennis Seaman, you can see that he has eccentricity of 12, commanding area 14. He's a top goalkeeper at this level. This is how you can use stats to find good players on Football Manager, and you can actually sign them for low values as well, less than £10 million for Dennis Seaman. Now, in case you're playing on Football Manager 2024, this is the same stats that you can go ahead and use. It works on both Football Manager games, to be honest. Go ahead and lock the player's age to ages between 15 and 20. Select the goalkeeper. Now, under the stats that you're going to add, you want to choose position to be goalkeeper. Then go over to the conditions like we did in FM26. Go over to stats chalkboard. And on that chalkboard, you can go ahead and add some of these stats. Some of them are stats and stats chalkboard. But the first one is expected goals. This is expected goals prevented per 90. Let me just hover the mouse over it. Expected goals per 90, you want that to be 0.25%. You can see conceded goals per 90. Now, this is not a chalkboard stat. This is a normal stat in general. Go over to general. Under general, you're going to see conceded per 90. Go ahead and add that option in there. You want it to be 0.75. And interceptions, you want your interceptions to be 0.5. You can find interceptions on the stats chalkboard. You go back to tackles and interceptions. You can see interceptions per 90. Go ahead and add that 0.5 or 0.75. Then pass completion ratio, you want that to be 90. Now, you notice that all of them are all checked and we don't have any players actually popping up. So you can go ahead and just dial this down. It's going to come up with some players for you. Now, I don't really expect my goalkeeper to have maximum passing accuracy. I'm going to drop this down to 80%. You can also go to the check on the left and uncheck any options you don't want to rate the goalkeeper by. So let me just go ahead and uncheck pass completion and some other options as well. Go ahead and click OK. Now, once that is done, you can see some players that you can get into your squad that could actually fill in and be good goalkeepers for you. This 19-year-old looks like a practical signing. He's not world class per se, but he can actually jump into the team. Most of these players are average. Now, remember that the age range, we kind of locked it to 20 years of age. So we can go ahead and try to be fancy. Let's say we're asking for too much, right? So 0.75. We're going to increase the age range to maybe 30 and see who actually pops up. So now that the list is a bit larger, we can start turning some of these other options that we see over here. Let me just uncheck this one again and then go ahead and click OK. We now have 18 players to actually choose from. You can filter them by the best potential. This is going to give you a list of more players that you can actually look at. Now, Rui Maximo may be seen as a C- player, but that's because my team is a very, very good team and he's going to struggle to actually get into the team. But for a player of this quality, he can get into almost any team. My Milan team is actually quite good, so there's no point actually going ahead to sign this guy. But this is the approach that you can use to try and fetch good players for you. That you can find them for easy money as well, that can get into your team and become starters in your team. I will go ahead to do this for every single type of player on Football Manager, so subscribe to the channel for more videos like that as I go ahead and cover every other stat that you need to find when you're looking for players on Football Manager.